Now at 5, Joplin police discuss a rash of copper thefts from air conditioning units in the city. Plus, how a park ranger program in Joplin has grown over the past year. And
President Biden ends his 2024 re-election bid. I'm Nicole Skanga at the White House as Vice President Harris, now top of the ticket, heads to Wilmington, Delaware to meet with campaign staff.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
Joplin police warn the public of a rise in air conditioner vandalism. This is KOAM News at 5. I'm Amber Jenkins. Thieves are vandalizing air conditioning units to steal copper metal and get money for it. The Joplin Paint Center is a victim of vandalism and says replacement cost them a lot of money. The Joplin Police Department is urging the public to conceal their AC units or install an alarm system.
The copper metal that unfortunately thieves see that as an easy target to go in and damage those, cut piping, can remove it and then take it in and turn it in for scrap.
Captain Davis says it's important to report any suspicious activity to the Joplin Police Department. It's been more than 1 year since the city of Joplin created its Park Ranger program. The program was created when the city received feedback that community members were concerned about safety. The Rangers are intended to be a visible presence in the park, helping to deter acts such as vandalism and other illegal activities. According to city officials, they act as an alternative to police in many situations at the parks. Park Rangers say it's rewarding to be able to give back to their community by helping improve the parks.
You know, vandalism is down a lot, property damage is down quite a bit. You know, the one thing, you know, it's outdoors, there's a lot of trash cans, you know, seems that people sometimes don't always get their trash thrown away, but I also see a lot of people when they come in, they'll always grab a piece or two, throw it in the trash can, so things are definitely getting better.
If you have a problem or concern about a city park, you can submit a comment on the City of Joplin's website. Tonight at 6, we'll learn more about what situations Rangers have addressed since the creation of the job. Chief Meteorologist Doug Heddy joins us.
Well, it turned out to be a nice Monday for us today. Temperatures still fairly comfortable. We didn't even get out of the 70s for highs yesterday. 83 in Lamar, 84 in Neosho, 82 is where we sit in Bella Vista. We have 82 in Veneta, 85 in Welch. Also in Chanute, we do have those afternoon cumulus clouds. And underneath those clouds, there's been a few spotty showers, a few random little isolated thunderstorms in our southern counties. But whatever is out there will fall apart once we lose the heating of the day. But we are going to have a random pop-up little thunderstorm, especially in our southern counties, as we go through the next few hours. Not a big deal. Most of you will end up staying dry. Dropping back through the 80s, 70s, mid-60s later on tonight. Slow warming trend the next few days. We're going to look at that here in just a bit.
Looking good. Thank you. President Joe Biden said yesterday he is withdrawing from the 2024 presidential election. In the time since that announcement, Vice President Kamala Harris has announced her bid for the White House and has appeared to fend off any challengers for the Democratic nomination. Nicole Sanga has more details from the White House.
Vice President Kamala Harris welcomed NCAA champions to the White House in her first public event since President Biden announced he was ending his re-election bid.
Joe Biden's legacy of accomplishment over the past 3 years is unmatched in modern history.
Harris is inheriting Biden's campaign team and is meeting with staff members in Delaware Monday. This afternoon, former House Speaker Nancy Pelosi joined a growing list of Democrats who are supporting the vice president.
She has been a strong leader on the national stage. She is someone that's going to be a unique candidate when she goes up against Donald Trump.
And one by one, potential rivals have said they do not plan to challenge Harris for the nomination.
I am not going to be a candidate for president. I'm a candidate for basically speaking for the middle of this country.
Harris says she wants to earn the nomination and has been working the phones to line up delegates and to raise money. The campaign says it's taken in roughly $50 million since Sunday afternoon.
In any campaign, when you see endorsements, when you see early support, when you see money, coming in, those are all early indicators of a strong candidacy.
Republicans have wasted no time pivoting their attacks, linking Harris to Biden's policies and attacking her record.
As the border czar, that's Joe Biden's term, not mine, she bears direct responsibility for the chaos at our southern border.
Former President Trump weighed in on social media, claiming Democrats stole the nomination from Biden after he won it in the primaries. Nicole Skanga, CBS News, the White House.
House Speaker Mike Johnson has threatened lawsuits over Biden's dropping out, saying he believes it violates the rules in some states not to move forward with the person who won the primaries. Republican vice presidential nominee J.D. Vance hosted his first solo campaign event 1 week after being tapped as former President Trump's running mate. Vance took center stage in his hometown of Middleton, Ohio. The Republican senator took aim at Vice President Harris following this weekend's Democratic shakeup.
I will fight every single day to restore an America that works for Americans. I will fight for policies that lower the costs of your groceries, lower the costs of your housing, make life more affordable, not less affordable as it has been under the Democrats.
Senator Vance once again made it clear to his supporters that he will never forget where he came from. He's also speaking today at a second rally in Radford, Virginia. The head of the Secret Service was called to Capitol Hill this morning to answer questions about the attempted assassination of former President Donald Trump. The House Oversight Committee subpoenaed Director Kimberly Cheeto after the attack. Following widespread criticism, the agency did not properly prepare for Trump's rally in Butler, Pennsylvania. Some lawmakers have called for her to resign. Cheeto said in her opening testimony, the assassination attempt is the most significant operational failure at the Secret Service in decades.
The Secret Service's solemn mission is to protect our nation's leaders. On July 13th, we failed. As a director of the United States Secret Service, I take full responsibility for any security lapse.
Several of the committee members became frustrated with Cheeto for not sharing more about what happened and what went wrong. Still ahead, struggling to get away.
Americans are #1 in the world, but it's not for a good thing. I'm Jared Hill, and I'll tell you why Americans might want to take a break from this top spot.
And next in Health Watch, we'll learn about a company making traditional Indian snacks while supporting people with special needs. Topping today's Health Watch, COVID death rates in India were far higher than previous estimates. A study from the University of Oxford found nearly 1.2 million people died in 2020 from the virus. That's 1.5 times the number of deaths previously thought. Women, young people, and low-income people face the highest death rates. New numbers from the U.S. Labor Department shows disabled adults made record employment gains last year. But even still, people with disabilities experience an unemployment rate that's twice as high as Americans without a disability. As Kristen Benedez reports, one small business in Florida wants to change that, one snack at a time.
Inside this commercial kitchen in Miami, workers are preparing trail mix while preparing themselves for life. The business inspired by 21-year-old Rishi Patel, who is autistic.
A big reason we started this company is for Rishi to have a purpose in life, to have something that he's contributing to.
Vijay and Manisha Patel launched Rishi Snacks a year ago to give their son and his schoolmates an opportunity to learn work skills.
There's different levels. Some of the kids cannot bag, but they're very good at doing the curry leaves. They're accomplishing a little more every time they work.
The Rishi team has a lot to show for their labor.
The snacks are already on grocery store shelves and in offices in Florida, the Carolinas, and New York.
Hiring for disabled workers grew during the pandemic, but according to the Labor Department, only about 37% of adults with a disability were employed in 2023, and 30% of those employed only work part-time. Rishi Snacks and other small businesses across the country hope to change that.
We want them to be doing something, contributing to society. They're able to do a lot. They just need a little help.
Rishi Patel says he enjoys spending time in the kitchen.
I work with my friends.
The Patels hope to hire the students once they graduate. Cristian Benavides, CBS News, Miami.
The snacks is based on a traditional Indian snack and comes in 5 different flavors. A new study finds 1 in 7 parents are worried their children aren't wearing properly fitting shoes. Experts say kids need the right size shoe wear to support growth and prevent injuries. A University of Michigan report found the cost of buying new shoes often keeps parents from replacing their kids' old pairs. That's a look at today's top health news. A little bit later, last week's worldwide tech outage led to thousands of flight cancellations over the weekend.
Plus, our temperatures will slowly warm up over the next few days. We're going to look at that coming up. Well, of course, turned out to be a nice Monday for us today. Temperatures pretty good. Once again, if we look back at the month of July, of course, we're about 3/4 of a way through it. We've had some pretty hot days, but overall, it's been a pretty good month. We've had 10 days below normal, 1 day right at normal, and then 11 days that have been above normal, of course, indicating in the red. We haven't hit 100 this month. We did in June. But we've been in a really nice stretch since last Wednesday, 70s and 80s for afternoon highs. Looks good right now. Here's a nice shot. This is Indigo Sky Casino and Resort. Of course, Indigo is just outside of Seneca, Missouri. You can see those little puffy cumulus clouds across the region. 83 in Nevada, 80 in Monette, 84 in Anderson. At Grand Lake, we have 84 in Miami, Pittsburgh 83, Independence, a little bit warmer, checking in at about 86 degrees, but our humidity is not that bad. Our dew points are kind of sitting in that 60 to 65 range, which makes it feel a little bit sticky out there, but overall, our humidity levels have been pretty good over the past couple days. We're going to slide back through the 80s into the 70s as we go through the evening hours, and then eventually we'll bottom out into the mid 60s later on tonight. You can see those cumulus clouds out there which have popped up, and there have been a few isolated showers, mainly in our southern counties underneath those clouds. You can see them kind of down in Benton County and parts of Delaware County, a couple little sprinkles popping up in Jasper County and also Barton County. But overall, most of you are going to stay dry tonight. We still have this flow right out of Canada, which has given us those nice temperatures. Our big dome of high pressure, which usually gives us the heat, is going to stay out toward the west as we go through the next several days. Let me walk you through time. Any isolated little thunderstorms that do pop up, they're going to be gone once we lose the heating of the day. Mid 60s to start for you tomorrow. Lower 80s by noon. Then once we get into the afternoon, again, a few spotty, isolated little thunderstorms, but most of us about 86, 87, 88 degrees for afternoon high. Still a little cooler over toward Monette, Cassville, and Stockton, and then warming as you work a little bit farther toward the west. Tomorrow night, any thunderstorms that do pop up, again, will die out once we lose the heating of the day. Heading into Wednesday, starting upper 60s to near 70, and then once we get into Wednesday afternoon, again, there could be a spotty, random little thunderstorm. Temperatures, though, they get a little bit hotter as we get into the upper 80s to near 90 degrees by the time we head into Wednesday afternoon. All right, day planner for you tomorrow. 66 to start, 82 by noon. High temp, 87. Again, isolated thunderstorm or two trying to pop up as we get into the afternoon. Even Thursday, you can see we slowly warm up. We get back into low to mid 90s. And then by Friday, high temperatures right around 90 degrees. So it gets a little bit warmer as we go through the next couple days. 87 tomorrow. Let's go 90 on Wednesday, 92 on Thursday, 90 on Friday. Still temperatures pretty good all the way into the weekend. Then we really start to heat up once again as we get into next week.
You know, I do love summer weather, but I'm not referring to like triple digits.
Yeah, we don't like those. But
I like it in the 80s, the 90s.
It would be nice.
Thank you. Coming up, a new report shows many Americans are not using their vacation time as much as they could. Topping today's Consumer Watch, more than 1,000 flights in and out of the U.S. were canceled yesterday as airlines continue to struggle with software problems. That's according to a flight tracking website called FlightAware. On Friday, airlines and other industries suffered from a worldwide IT outage that had lingering software effects. About half of Sunday's flight cancellations were Delta Airlines flights. And on Saturday, more than 2,100 U.S. flights were canceled. 1,200 of those were Delta flights. A new study finds most Americans feel vacation deprived, but in many cases, they only have themselves to blame. Jared Hill explains why.
Lauren Alyssa Bowerbanks has a job that gives her 2 weeks of vacation every year, but she doesn't take all of it.
Because I usually plan to use it, but then I end up not using it.
Joseph Medina is in the same boat.
It's kind of hard to use it all.
Expedia's annual vacation deprivation report finds the average American only receives 12 days of vacation every year. That's far less than many other countries, including workers in France, who average 31 days a year. Despite having such little time, only about half of U.S. employees actually use all of it.
This is the highest level of vacation deprivation among Americans in more than a decade.
Expedia's Melanie Fish says one reason why is people hoard their time off.
Thinking, I'm going to take my big dream trip, so I want to make sure I have enough time. And then in the end, they just don't get around to doing it.
But many Americans say they don't use all their days because they don't feel that they can.
Because I feel like with jobs, it looks bad to call out sometimes. So you feel like you got to go to work every day.
We really need to stop treating time off as some sort of guilty pleasure.
Fish says people who can't take large chunks of time off should look to the people of Japan.
Japan gets a similar amount of time off as Americans, but they do a lot better job of not feeling vacation deprived because they take shorter, more frequent trips.
Even a short time off is important to Raymond Ramirez Beltran.
You need time to recharge, to be more creative. You need to have the time to just step back and take a breath.
And the study supports that. 85% of workers say they have a more positive attitude after taking time off. Jared Hill, CBS News, New York.
Bud Light is losing more ground, slipping to the number 3 spot for beer in sales in the U.S. Bud Light fell from the number 1 spot last year. Now, industry trade publication Beer Marketer Insights reports Ultra rose to take Bud Light's number 2 spot during the period from Memorial Day to the 4th of July holiday. Michelob Ultra is also brewed by Anheuser-Busch. Milano, made by the rival Constellation Brands, remains the top-selling beer at U.S. retailers after surpassing Bud Light last year. McDonald's customers will be able to enjoy getting a break on fast food costs a while longer. The burger giant today said it will keep its $5 meal deal on the menu at most U.S. locations through August. McDonald's launched the meal deal in late June in response to weaker than expected sales. It was intended to last for 1 month only, but McDonald's said the meal deal is boosting sales and even prompting some to buy full price items. The deal comes with a cheeseburger or chicken McSandwich, small fries or 4-piece McChicken McNuggets, and a small soft drink. Final check of the forecast is next. Up next on the CBS Evening News, the parallels between this year's Democratic National Convention and 1968. Then on KOAM News at 6, we'll have more on the Joplin Park Ranger program after a year in operation. Plus, local first responders give residents a reminder about pedestrian safety techniques. And MIAA Football Media Day is tomorrow. We'll have what you can expect. Stay with us for the CBS Evening News and then KOAM News at 6. LeBron James will be leading Team USA at the Paris 2024 Olympics opening ceremony. The basketball star has been chosen as the male flag bearer. In a statement, James said he's proud to be a part of this important moment that can bring the whole world together. This is James' 4th Olympics. He previously won gold in the 2008 Games and the 2012 London Games.
Pretty cool. Those are right around the corner.
Yes, and he's been doing a good job. So.
Yeah. All right, weather-wise, looks pretty good as we go through the evening hours and then slowly heating up as we go through the next couple days, but not extreme heat. Also, each day this week we'll have a chance for a random, isolated little pop-up storm.
And thanks for joining us. The CBS Evening News is next. Of course, we'll be right back here for KOAM News at 6. We'll see you then. Let's make it a great evening.